Well, we finally have reached halfway through the year, and finally I can give you the best metal albums of 2020 so far. Well, what a crazy turbulent year it has been with the pandemic. We are surprisingly more than halfway through the year, and I thought it was fitting that I would give you the best metal albums of the year so far. This year has been absolutely insane in the world of metal. There's been some really awesome albums, close to masterpiece, just blew me away this year. And today I'm going to give you a whopping top 40. Now don't mind me wearing sunglasses. The one-eye bandit is here since one of my eyes is fucking full on closed. I don't think you guys should see the travesty behind these sunglasses. So I'm going to wear these glasses all the way through the video. So get used to it. So let's kick off with number 40. And it's pirate metal. It's Alestorm, The Curse of the Crystal Coconut.
Zombies wait for me, craving brains and treasure.
This album is absolutely fantastic. It has made my top 40 because of how detailed yet fun this album is. This is definitely something very different by Alestorm, a very different album by Alestorm, incorporating some many different elements of surprises. I absolutely love the song Fanny Balls, where the fearsome pirates, Fanny Balls. So good. I absolutely really enjoyed this album. I think this album flows very freely. It's something very different. You got lady vocals on a few songs, you get some really heavy moments as well. It's a really fun album and I just really enjoyed it. So coming in at number 39 is Grimah, Intricacies of Belled Wisdom. So this was the first ever black metal album I heard this year, and it's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic album. I just absolutely love the flow of the album, not to mention the huge blast beats throughout the song. The lyrics overall is all about nihilism, very strong lyrics, and it's just overall a great journey. I just love the overall production. The production is really in your face, gut-wrenching at times, and his vocals are really good. This is one of the albums that really surprised me, especially throughout January. I just thoroughly enjoyed this album. I've heard this album countless times now, and I think it's fitting that it made it to the top 40. Coming up at number 38 is the Black Dahlia Murder and the album Verminous. This album is really sticky, slimy, a really good melodic death metal album. I absolutely adore his vocals. I love the guitar work. Definitely inspired by some other bands as well, but it's certainly a really tight and cohesive album with so many different surprises along the way. The Wormwood's Feast is just an absolutely amazing song. Reminds me of bands such as Cradle of Filth, especially the chorus, blessed maggots dwelling within dead flesh. So damn fucking good. If you haven't checked out the Black Dahlia Murder, definitely check it out because you will fucking well enjoy it. Okay, so coming at number 37 is Rebirth by Blasphemy. It's Midnight, Rebirth by Blasphemy.
Rebirth by Blasphemy.
A really fun black and thrash album. It's so damn good, incorporating elements of that black and roll that we really love. It reminds me of bands such as Venom, especially the sound, and I love the drumming throughout this album, not to mention the guitars. It's just a really fun fucking album to really bang your head along, and I would definitely recommend it if you haven't checked out Midnight Rebirth by Blasphemy, because it certainly gets into my top 40 of how coherent this album feels. It flows very well. It's a short album, but it packs a punch. So coming in at number 36 is the epic album Sorcerer, Lamenting of the Innocent. This album is absolutely fantastic. I just love the flow. You even got a special guest, you even got the special Candlemass original singer that is on this album for one song. I absolutely love the epic doom elements throughout this album, incorporating elements of so many different genres mixed into one. It's so damn good. The lyrics are really good. It's one of the best concept albums of the year so far. I just love the melodicalism throughout this album, and not to mention some really tight and cohesive musicianship going on. It's really good. They incorporate orchestral elements throughout some of these songs and some amazing guitar work, and I've really enjoyed it. Coming in number 35 is another fun album. It's Brothers of Metal, the Viking metal, and I absolutely love it. We're talking about Embla's Sagas.
Come with me through the fire, burning so real. And tonight,
a very interesting album overall. It's really fun. Corporate album. It's a power metal. It's a power metal album, but her vocals and his vocals are very good. They intertwine with each other, and it's just a really enjoyable album to listen to. I just love how pulse pounding some of these songs are, and you got some ballads as well that convey a lot of emotion, but it still holds true to at times comedic moments, such as Hammer of Thor is a really jokey song, and I absolutely love it, but I love how serious some of these songs are as well. You got some serious songs and you got some jokey songs as well. Coming in at number 34 is Sons of Apollo, MMXXX. Album was actually my number one album of January, but I'll tell you what, it has dropped, it has plummeted just because it's the repeat factor. The repeat factor isn't there in my opinion. There are some really good songs by Sons of Apollo, and I just love how heavy some of these songs are. I don't want to really listen to this album over and over again, and a lot of these albums that I have listened to, I want to listen to more. Very proggy sort of album, definitely one of the proggiest metal albums on this list, but I still enjoy this album now and again, but I can't listen to it every single day. So coming in at 33 is Wilderness, Dark Waters. This is a very folky, sort of soft black metal album. I just really love it. I love her vocals. Her vocals are really awesome. Got some angelic vocals and you got high shrieks. Some really nice guitar work, and the drums throughout this album is fantastic. I just love how atmospheric this album feels. Just overall such a fun fucking album to just bang your head along. Really nice acoustic moments. Nice build up towards the conclusion. Number 32 is It Is Freezing in My Mind. It's Haunt, Mind Freeze.
it is freezing in my mind.
This album is a heavy metal album, and it's just so damn good. It really is. I love how catchy some of these songs are. The guitar work is absolutely magnificent. Mind Freeze is just such an amazing song, and those choruses get stuck in your head. So really awesome moments, some really awesome moments. Love the production throughout this album, and overall it's just a really fun fucking album to just bang your head along. This was released in January, and I've played this album countless times now, and I still don't get sick of it. So coming at number 31 is a concept album, Serenity, The Last Night.
Invictus, our leader, it's our day to win.
I played this album countless times. I absolutely love this album. I really do. Sort of a concept album. I love how melodic it is. It's a symphonic power metal album. The guitar work is absolutely fantastic. I love the drums and his vocals. His vocals, man, are so damn fucking good. They incorporate progressive elements throughout this album, but there are just so many fun moments throughout Serenity Last Night. So coming at number 30 may trigger some of you, but it's Nightwish, Human to Nature. The reason why it's a little bit lower than expected is because of the second disc. I wasn't really a big fan of the second disc. I understood what Thomas was doing. The first disc was a fucking banger. I absolutely love this album. I really do love Flor Jansen's vocals. I really enjoyed the song Tribal music. I mean, it's just a really fun first half of the album that you just can't help but enjoy. Endlessness is like an epic doom song. Absolutely fucking love that song. What I wanted more on this album was Marco, but it still is a fantastic album by Nightwish. So coming in at number 29 is Blaze of Perdition, the Harrowing of Hearts. Black metal album through and through, and some really awesome moments. He had a dynamic approach and I fucking well love it. I love the ethereal atmosphere. There's also some very melodic, catchy moments, especially the first song. The first song is so damn good. I absolutely love the first song. I love how catchy it is. The guitar moments, the chord progression throughout this album is so damn good. Not to mention the drumming as well. Strong lyrics as well. Really enjoy the lyrics off this album. Fantastic black metal album. So coming in at number 28 is Eyeball, the Spirit, Cosmic Terror. I absolutely love the fucking album cover. Love the fucking album cover of this. It's like a big eyeball, big gigantic eyeball. This is like a spacey black metal album. It's a very atmospheric album. I just love how deep and piercing this album does get. This album just goes so damn quick, and it's just so relaxing when you're in bed listening to this. This is why it's getting in my top 40. So coming in at number 27 is Arbrynth, A Place of Buried Light. This album really surprised me, to be honest. I absolutely enjoyed this one. Yeah, I love how opeth-like it feels, how folky it feels at times, but yeah, it has that doomy progressive element that you get throughout Arbrynth's songs. It's a very enjoyable album. I just love the harsh vocals, deep demonic growls, these guttural growls at times that incorporates that element of surprise throughout A Place of Buried Light. I just love the guitar tone with some really nice drum moments. Enjoyable dynamic album. I do love his cleaner vocals throughout this album. But yeah, it's definitely one of the best of 2020 for sure. Coming in at number 26 is Winterfylleth, The Reckoning of Dawn. This is a black metal album, at times incorporating folky symphonic elements throughout this album, and absolutely a very enjoyable album. It really is. I love how atmospheric this album is, but yet some really long proggy songs as well. They really punch your lungs. It's just a really enjoyable album, and the vocals are so damn good. I believe Winterfylleth had a side project called Activist, which was another fantastic fucking album. Absolutely love that album, which was released in June. Didn't make it in my top 40, unfortunately, but who knows, maybe it'll make it in my end of year list, I'm not too sure. Such a really good album. Definitely one of the best Winterfylleth albums in my opinion, for how different this album feels at times. Coming at number 25 is going to trigger my mate, I can see it. It's Ulcerate, Stand to Death and Be Still. I really enjoyed this album. I do, and it's definitely one of the best Ulcerate albums. This music is definitely not really my taste. Like, I am starting to get into dissonant metal, and I do really enjoy it, but I just feel at times it's very overwhelming. But this album is fun, and I've heard of nearly all Ulcerate albums. I say it's definitely not my favorite Ulcerate album, but I do appreciate it. Reminds you of bands such as Deathspell Omega, which I'm not really a big fan of, but Ulcerate do it a little bit better in my opinion. I do love the flow. They incorporate some blackened death metal at times, but mostly technical death metal, but incorporate elements of doom metal as well throughout some of this album. And not only that, his vocals, man, his vocals are so damn fucking demonic. One of the best vocal performances I've heard. So coming in at number 24 is the sludgy proggy band called Barishi, and their album Old Smoke. Fantastic album, it really is. I just love how sludgy this album feels. Really reminds me of bands such as Mastodon. and even at times sounding like Opeth, especially acoustic moments. His vocals are aggressive at times, and I just love his harsh vocals. I really love down-tuned guitars throughout this album that overall just gives you that boost of energy you want throughout your day. It's so damn good, it really is, and I absolutely love some of these songs. These songs are very long at times, some of them are like 8 to 9 minutes, but damn, it really packs a punch. It's such an enjoyable album, Barishi Old Smoke. So coming in at number 23 is another doom metal band, and it's all women. It's a Konvent, Puritan Masochism. Oh, I love this album, I really do. Maybe I should have put it a little bit higher. It's just an experience listening to this. It really is. Some awesome moments. These girls are amazing. The harsh vocals are incredible. The demonic growls, those death doom growls, really reminds me of bands such as even Hooded Menace. Just the vocal tone is so damn visceral at times. The guitars are amazing, not to mention the drumming as well. Some really tight and cohesive songs. But yeah, Konvent definitely surprised me. So coming at number 22 is Garganjua, Toward the Sun. This album was very surprising. It's a sort of a doom metal album, a melancholy album as well. Reminds me very similar to bands such as Catatonia and stuff, especially in the early years. I do love his clean vocals, really enjoy his harsh vocals as well, and how epic some of these songs are. Like, you got some really sweet passages throughout some of these songs and some really nice guitar work. My main complaint for this album was maybe it was just a slightly little bit too long, but there are some awesome songs on this album, and I would definitely recommend you this album. So coming at number 21 is probably the only metalcore album on the list, and it's Polaris, The Death of Me.
Find your peace in a place unknown and see the world.
Love Polaris, really do. Love all this stuff, and The Death of Me was not a surprise. I love Masochist, that's an absolute amazing song. Really love the clean melodic vocals by Jake, but Jamie incorporates those harsh vocals that you absolutely fucking love. It's a very at times it's technical, but yet they incorporate the elements of that progressive metalcore that you want from a metalcore band. Very enjoyable album. It was once my favorite album of the year, but certainly it has dropped after there have so many good albums after Polaris.